So I recently had the Golgari daily quest and I thought to myself, there must be a black-green aggro deck out there that I can play. So I did what any sensible creator would do and I looked on various deck websites, you know, Untap.gg, EtherHub, MTG Goldfish, just to find a good Golgari aggro deck to play, and there weren't any, so I did what any sensible deck builder would do and made my own. I took the best from Mono Black, put in some big green beats and sprinkled a bit of removal and ended up with, well, this. So let's take a look at our deck from the Mono Black shell. We've got 4 Tenacious Underdog, 3 Graveyard Trespasser, 3 Sheoldred the Apocalypse and 3 Phyrexian Fleshgorger. The green creatures consist of 4 Llanowar Loamspeaker to ramp up and also attack with some lands, 4 Quirion Beastcaller to get very big very quickly, 2 Augur of Autumn to get the lands out of our deck, and also if we can activate the Covenant ability, play creatures from the top, 2 Workshop Warchief and 2 Silverback Elders to try and give us strong late game, and then finally in the removal suite 4 Cut Down, 3 Go for the Throat and 2 Tear Asunder. Here are the lands. Highlights include Takenuma, Boseiju, and we also play 4 copies of Ziatora's Proving Ground just to cycle in the late game. That's the deck, let's get into the games. Going first, we do have a turn 2 Tenacious Underdog into turn 3 Graveyard Trespasser I will keep. Looks like our opponent's gone down to 6, so we will open with a Forest and pass the turn. Option also to play the Deathcap Glade on turn 1, but I don't want to give too much away as to my colors. I don't want to give information to the opponent. If you play green on turn 1, they might think that you're playing mono green, which has plenty of games where it's just turn 1 forest. Now, if you think that is worth paying the 1 life for Llanowar Wastes, then do it. I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it isn't, I'm merely presenting you the option. We're going to attack for 3 here, offer the trade. If they do take the trade, I'm going to play the Deathcap Glade and play the Graveyard Trespasser. They do, so we'll play the Deathcap Glade here and then play the Graveyard Trespasser. We'll get rid of their Bloodtithe Harvester. Next turn, we do have Quirion Beastcaller and Tenacious Underdog. Mardu Angels. Interesting. Let's go to combat. Not going to get rid of the Tenacious Underdog. Down to 15, we'll play the Quirion Beastcaller. I can see that being cut down in the future. No. Okay, we have a good presence at this point. Seraph Paragon is a very real card that we could see here. We could also see Archangel of Wrath, although that would be without kicker, but still a 3/4 with lifelink is not to be messed with. We could see Wandering Emperor, that's a very real threat. Instead, we see Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay. Not a problem. As we get another Graveyard Trespasser here, so I am going to play it out. Still don't need to do anything with the effect, but nonetheless, I want to create a very dangerous presence for my opponent. Remember that Fable has to copy a non-legendary, so Giada won't be copied by Fable of the Mirror Breaker. At this stage, it's really, what's my opponent trying to find? They've got plenty of outs. They only got rid of the Extraction Specialist, which I haven't seen in a long time. But that will probably have a very good combo with things like Bloodtithe Harvester and other cards. I'm trying to think what else. We might even see it. There's still Seraph for the prototype cost. Might need to give something lifelink. Does give something lifelink. I will happily take the 2. There's a Ziatora's Playground. I'll play the Llanowar Wastes. Do I just blitz out the Tenacious Underdog? I think I do. Cool. Yeah, Opponent's going first. Very good hand. The only issue is that we will have to play the Deathcap Glade tapped on turn 1, but that's okay. In the previous game, we did choose to play the Forest first to hide information, but on this occasion, we don't really have a choice. Opponent just passes, which tells me this could be mono white control. So I've got a couple of options here. I can play the Tenacious Underdog to create a threat. I can also play the Quirion Beastcaller. However, I want to play the Llanowar Loamspeaker here because next turn I'll have access to 4 mana, which means I could play Quirion Beastcaller and then Tenacious Underdog. Resolute Reinforcements comes in. This is soldiers. So I have plenty of threats to deal with this. I have the Cut Down. I have Go for the Throat. Cut Down is coming in my opponent's future. Don't worry about that. There's another Deathcap Glade. Okay, so cut this down. Actually, no, let's not cut that down. Let's play out the Quirion Beastcaller. And we'll hold on to the Cut Down for the time being. Because they might play... Oh, if they play Boot Cathar, then that could be a problem. So, I'm guessing they're going to go to combat here. I wonder what they're going to try and put a +1/+1 counter on. Gosh, shocking. No one saw that one coming. They choose not to attack, which is really good news for us. I'm going to play the Tenacious Underdog out. And then I'm just going to pass the turn. Opponent's only got 2 cards in their hand at this point. Go for the Throat has the Siege Veteran's name on it. Until they played Mire. Now we can't play Go for the Throat because of Mire's ability, which is going to slow us down somewhat. But nevertheless, I will just now Go for the Throat Mire before that can be a threat. Siege Veteran will continue to churn out dudes, however, so it's not ideal. Our opponent's doing very well for themselves. I'm going to exile the Mire here. Going to also attack with Quirion Beastcaller, see what they want to do here. We actually might attack with Tenacious Underdog as well. Reason being, they just let it happen. Reason we want to attack with Tenacious Underdog is that if they choose to block with it, we can blitz it out. There's Guardian of New Benalia. There's a Thalia, okay. Unsurprisingly, Thalia gets the call. Siege Veteran just attacks. We're not going to block it. Going to go down to 17. There's a cut down. See you, Thalia. Again, my opponent's going to continue to get to create 1/1 soldiers. I'm going to attack with everything here. I want them to think I don't have much, and then I can play down the Phyrexian Fleshgorger afterwards. Yes, that might mean that I miss out on a +1/+1 counter, but honestly, that's okay. I'm going to exile the Valiant Veteran here. They do just triple block it. Quadruple block it. Okay. Yeah. So you very much want to get rid of the non-tokens. I'll put Resolute Reinforcements at the bottom. Cool. Play out this Phyrexian Fleshgorger. Pass the turn. There's a land. Who are they going to give the +1/+1 counter to? The Guardian. Think they should have held on to that land. They will enlist and hit for 6. They shouldn't have played the land. I could punish this and just block here and go up to 21. And then they have a 1/1 soldier. And I think that's the play. Alright, cool. Augur of Autumn comes out. And now we can start playing things off the top of our deck as well. There's a Workshop Warchief, which has 5 power, so that even if something dies, we will be able to activate Augur of Autumn's Coven ability next turn. There's a Yoshin frontliner. We'll play out the Llanowar Wastes. There's a Silverback Elder. We'll probably play this out instead, you know. We'll attack with both the Quirion Beastcaller and the Tenacious Underdog. Opponent is generating some card advantage as they get another Plains. Siege Veteran doing a lot of work for my opponent right now. Cool, I'm going to block here, I'm going to block here. Going to go down to 17, yeah, opponent GG's. Thank you for playing, opponent. It's not the fastest hand in the world. We do only play 24 lands, so these 2 land hands are often a thing. I'm going to keep this for science. If this was a competitive game, I think I would probably mulligan, but I'm going to keep this. Okay, turn 1 Deathcap Glade, so we have access to black and green mana for turn 2. Sorry, opponent, nothing personal. Change of plan, we're going to play the Llanowar Loamspeaker. Looks like with Sparrow's Headquarters, this is going to be Bant. Yeah, this is the there's like a Bant ramp deck going out at the moment. I'm gonna play Sheoldred on 3. By all means, feel free to gain 3 life. Wedding announcement, no problem. Tear Asunder would be great. We'll play out the... Well, first thing I think we'll do is that we'll attack for 4. See how our opponent wants to deal with that. We have a go for the throat for the Likeness of the Seeker. Cool. And then we'll play out the Quirion Beastcaller. It's when it becomes blocked, right? And it will have Summoning Sickness. And we've got a Graveyard Trespasser as well, so we'll play that out. Just want to use up all our mana and start the day-night cycle. If our opponent has Depopulate, our opponent has Depopulate. But I don't think they do. Rite of Harmony, yeah. Cool. Is it whenever it becomes blocked, right? So we'll go for the throat this now. And then we'll play out... Will we play out the Phyrexian Fleshgorger? If I draw a land, there's no guarantee I'll draw the land next turn, so I'm just going to play out as a prototype. Am I attacking with everything? Yeah, I am. Alright, there we go. Going first here. We'll keep it. Kind of reliant on drawing some lands here. Like Tenacious Underdog, Llanowar Loamspeaker, Quirion Beastcaller. All excellent. However, we have drawn all 3 Sheoldreds. Because of course we have. This could be Jeskai. Gonna have to attack for 1 here. Play the Quirion Beastcaller. Not the first time I've had mana issues with this deck, however, the mana issues have been both mana screw and mana flood. It's just the nature of Magic. We'll exile our own Llanowar Loamspeaker. First card, opponent played. Yeah, Fable. There's the Llanowar Wastes. We'll attack. We'll continue to eat our own stuff. Going down to 13. We'll play out Sheoldred now. That's good. If they're having to waste a turn playing Otawara, that's really good. Alright, we'll play out the Sheoldred now, because if they counter it, they don't. We're also going to exile 2 cards. We'll exile the Otawara and the... in case they can find a way of bringing a land back, and we'll exile the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Ice Stone and Weak Stone. Sure. Burn Spider, yep. Not a problem. We will attack here. We'll exile our own Sheoldred. Put them on 6. We'll play out Sheoldred the Apocalypse. Time's ticking. Put them on 4. We also have the ability to blitz out a Tenacious Underdog next turn. Opponent trying to figure out if they can Skitterbeam us, right? Yep. Yeah, don't put any real creatures forward, opponent. Is it when it transforms? Oh, they did put one forward. I take 12, I go to 7. Yeah, I think my opponent's made a mistake. I'm going to blitz out this Tenacious Underdog. Put my opponent on 3. Yeah, there we go. So I know what you're thinking. We've only seen wins at the moment. Yeah, and that's true. Let me show you my first 3 games from this recording session, and I'll let you judge the deck for yourself. First game of the day, we are going second. It's not the greatest hand in the world, however, we do have turn 2 Tenacious Underdog into turn 3 Phyrexian Fleshgorger, but we could really do with not drawing any more lands. Opponent's hesitating here, which means we're probably erring towards keeping. And we will keep this too. Ziatora's on 1. I drew a land, which isn't great, but we will also play a Ziatora of our own. Ziatora, I'm not entirely sure. It looks like we could be up against Rakdos as we draw a second land and immediately begin to get punished for our insolence. No removal in our opponent's hand. There's a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. As we draw our 3rd land in a row, we're going to go to combat here. We're going to attack, give our opponent the opportunity to block. Nothing, down to 17. Looks like they're playing 4 color. It's hard to tell. We will play out the Deathcap Glade and play out Phyrexian Fleshgorger for its prototype cost. All we want to do here is stop the Fable from reaching Chapter 3. The unfortunate thing is that we're going to let the Goblin Shaman attack, so it's going to create a treasure token. We are obviously going to block. However, if they are able to play a 5th land, they can play Invoke Despair, and that's really bad news for us. Opponent discarded a land and make disappear. They'll play another Ziatora. We'll block this. And there's the Brotherhood's End, okay. So that Brotherhood's End is going to kill the Phyrexian Fleshgorger regardless. We have a Takenuma. However, I think the play here is to play another Deathcap Glade and Tear Asunder the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I don't want to give my opponent the opportunity to play anything else. Remember, we can get rid of artifacts or enchantments, and it's a good job we did get rid of the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, because otherwise Blood Tithe Harvester would do nasty, nasty things. Looks like it is now our turn. as we draw Quirion Beastcaller. So we're going to play out the Llanowar Wastes here. We'll play the Beastcaller as well. And we will end the turn. We have a couple of options here. We have the option to cycle the Ziatora's Proving Ground, and we'll probably do that. We can also... There's Sheoldred. We can exile that with Tear Asunder. So I'm actually going to cycle this Proving Ground now, before the 2 damage comes in, as we get another Ziatora. No blocks here. We'll take the 3 damage. And now, because it's instant speed, we can play this for its kicker cost and exile Sheoldred. That's very unfortunate. As we draw another Deathcap Glade. Looks like we are in a world of trouble. Opponents have been able to deal with all our stuff. It is what it is. Grixis is a really strong deck. We only play 24 lands. We have outs. We have plenty of ways we can still win this. So I'm not too bothered. As we get another Llanowar Loamspeaker, we will take the beating. We have Takenuma that we can channel. We'll play out the Loamspeaker. We will probably have to play this Ziatora's Proving Ground. And we'll end the turn. As a Braid comes in, that's fine. Our opponent only has 1 card in hand. Trying to think of what they can do at this point to play. There's another Blood Tithe Harvester, that's okay. Gonna go down to 8 here. Gonna have to channel this now. There's a Workshop Warchief. We'll take the Phyrexian Fleshgorger, however. We'll just play it for its full cost. If they have Make Disappear, they have Make Disappear. There's nothing we can do about it. That was 3 Make Disappears. Most Grixis decks only play 2. It is what it is. Opponent's going first. We've got quite an expensive hand here. However, again, our opponent's also going first. We'll keep this. We have plenty of opportunities to draw a 3rd land. There's a Yotian frontliner. Looks like we're up against soldiers. I will play the Deathcap Glade tapped on 1. If they play Thalia on 2, we can cut it down. Resolute Reinforcements. Interesting. Kind of has flash, you know. But we are going to go down to 19. As we get another cut down, and we will just pass the turn. Sky Strike Officer coming in. I'm going to let them attack with things before I cut down the Sky Strike Officer. Because otherwise, they could just tap things to draw a card, although they would lose out on 4 damage. Please, a land off the top. The duality of man. Yes, Valiant Veteran resolves. We have a cut down for that too. Resolve. Cut down the Valiant Veteran. Go down to 11. Well, there's a land, but we can't play the Augur of Autumn. We'll exile the Valiant Veteran. Remember, Valiant Veteran has an effect where you can exile it from your graveyard. There's Mire. Some of you might think I'm in a load of trouble, and you'd be correct. Nice that all 3 copies of Sheoldred are in our hand. Always good to see. I'm not going to attack here. We'll end the turn. They'll have to draw a card, put them down to 17. Remember, we do have Workshop Warchief. There's Brutal Cathar. Yep. I think that was off the top as well. Yeah, another day we win this. Alright, opponent goes first. It's rather unfortunate that all our lands are Llanowar Wastes, but we will keep this. Turn 2 Llanowar Loamspeaker into turn 3 Sheoldred. It's super cool. And if they do deal with Sheoldred, with Llanowar Loamspeaker, sorry, we do have Phyrexian Fleshgorger instead. Looks like this could be Boros. It is. Oh, don't worry, opponent. I'm very familiar with how this works. So we might actually have to do a different turn 3 here. We'll have to see if they leave open a white mana for Boros for Lauren's Escape. They probably will. But most... There's the Ancestral Anger, yeah. So it'll be 6-5. It'll put us down to 8. Oh no, they didn't. Well, I am definitely going to block here. Actually, no, they might have Play with Fire. 6, 5, 4, that's 10, that's 12. Yeah, I'll go down to 8. And then one of two things happens. Oh, it's 7, right, because I took one from Kamino and Kakazan. Then one of two things happens. Either they have the Lauren's Escape for the Illuminated Virtuoso, or they don't. Yeah. They did. It's time to come clean. I went 7 and 10. The problem is that when the deck drew well, I got ahead and I stayed ahead and I won. When the deck didn't draw so well, I got behind and I stayed behind and I lost. There isn't much skill expression with the deck. It's just a deck where you can play big, dumb things and swing in and hope for the best. If you enjoy feeling like a powerful wizard by playing big creatures, this is the deck for you. It's a ton of fun, but it's not that good right now in this meta, and that's why I don't recommend this deck for climbing. Save your wildcards for now. If you really want to try this deck, consider playing the Fight Rigging Shakedown Heavy combo. You can play some things for free and draw some cards because your opponent probably doesn't want you attacking with a 6/4 with Menace. If you do play this, consider playing Titan of Industry so that you can play out bigger creatures for free, but if it's in your hand, you will probably get stuck in terms of mana, which is why I recommend you also play Gwenna. She can create some extra mana to pump out bigger creatures, so consider doing that, but at that point, it's really a different deck, so you might want to change some things around accordingly. Thanks for watching and making it to the end of the video. If you're looking for something a lot more explosive to play that punishes decks just like this, check out my Boros Heroic deck, which is somewhere. I'm going to point somewhere. But yeah, I'll see you again on Thursday. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Bye-bye!